All right, let's talk about money, but we're going to come at it from a totally different angle today. We're not looking at it as some big problem you need to solve, but as an experience that actually lives inside your body. So let's dive in.
Okay, before we get into any of the details, just take a second and check in with this question. When you think about money, where do you feel it in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest, maybe some warmth in your hands, or nothing at all, just neutral? Seriously, don't overthink it. Just notice what's there. This simple check-in is pretty much the foundation for everything else we're about to explore.
So now that you've had a chance to check in with your body, let's talk about what might be behind those sensations. We're going to get into this idea of money blocks. And look, the single most important thing to get right off the bat is that this is not a personal failure. It's not something you're doing wrong. It's actually something your body is doing to try and keep you safe.
And this definition right here, it completely flips the script. A money block is a learned, protective response. It's stored in your nervous system, and a lot of the time, you don't even know it's there. Just think about that for a second. This isn't some flaw in your personality. It's a survival strategy your body picked up somewhere along the way.
So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, you might recognize some of these. Things like constantly overworking, or maybe always undercharging for what you do. That knot of anxiety you get when you have to make a money decision, or finding it so hard to let someone help you, or even just take a compliment. These aren't just quirky habits. They're often symptoms of that deeper protective pattern running in the background.
Okay, so if we have these deep-seated patterns, where in the world did they come from? I mean, they don't just pop up out of nowhere, right? They have very real and actually very understandable origins.
We tend to pick these things up from two main places. On one side, you've got the inherited stuff. Maybe you grew up around a lot of family stress about money, or you just kept hearing that there's never enough kind of language. Then on the other side, you've got your own personal life experiences. Big life events, a sudden health issue, a career change that just imprinted a feeling of instability.
And here's the absolute key to all of this. Your nervous system doesn't really know the difference between a threat to your bank account and a threat to your actual survival. To its ancient wiring, money equals safety, stability, shelter, care, the big stuff. And that's exactly why it all feels so incredibly emotional and so high stakes.
And since it's a nervous system thing, it's a body thing. Money stress isn't just an idea in your head. It shows up physically. It's that tight feeling in your chest when you look at your bills. It's how your breathing gets all shallow when you have to think about your income. It's that chronic tension in your jaw or shoulders that you can't seem to shake. It's a full-body experience.
Okay, so if the problem lives in the body, then the solution has to live there too, right? This is where we make a really important shift. We have to move away from just analyzing everything in our heads and instead drop into an awareness of what's happening in our bodies. You see, you really can't just think your way out of a nervous system pattern. It's not about plastering positive affirmations over a genuine feeling of panic. The real solution is about creating a genuine, felt sense of safety in your body. Because when your body finally feels safe, those old protective patterns can start to relax their grip. And this right here is the guiding principle for the whole process. We cannot clear what we do not recognize. This whole thing isn't about judging yourself or trying to fix some broken part of you. The very first step, always, is just compassionate awareness. Simply noticing what's there, without feeling like you have to change it right away. It's about meeting yourself exactly where you are.
Okay, enough theory. Let's move into a tangible practice, something you can actually do. This is a super simple, body-based exercise that helps retrain your body's response to circulation, that natural give and take, that flow.
The power of this is just how simple it is. You literally just stand up, hold a bill in your hand, and just notice. Notice any sensations. Then you gently toss it into the air, and as you watch it fall, you pay really close attention to how your body reacts to that moment of letting go. Finally, you pick it up, and you notice how it feels to receive it back. Doing this over and over helps retrain the nervous system on a purely physical level that it's safe to release and it's safe to receive. And this quote just perfectly captures what that little exercise teaches us. What circulates, returns. What is clenched cannot flow. When we can physically experience that something can be let go of and then come back to us, it starts to unwind that deep, primal fear that makes us want to clench and hold on for dear life.
So once we've started to create a little bit more space and safety in our nervous system, we can move into this really empowering final phase, consciously creating a new relationship with money, totally on our own terms.
I mean, this is such a powerful reframe.
What if money isn't a problem to solve? What if it's not a goal to just conquer? What if it's a relationship to nurture? And just like any other relationship, it needs communication, it needs respect, and it's naturally going to evolve and change as you do.
In these prompts, these are the tools you can use to start nurturing that new relationship. They invite you to be the one who writes your own money story. It's not about forcing an answer. It's about listening for what feels true and sustainable for you right now. Just take a moment with that last one. My new relationship with money feels like, wow, what a powerful place to start.
And that really brings us to the final question to leave you with. What would actually change for you, in your body, in your choices every day, in your whole life, if money truly became a relationship to nurture instead of just a problem to be solved? That shift in perspective, that's where the real work and honestly, the real freedom begins.